What up, what up? Welcome back to another episode of Ticking Gray Bomb. Your favorite Uncle Mex here. We're going to do another unboxing. So today I'm going to unbox the Seiko SBDC183, which is a JDM, Japanese domestic model, Black Series Prospex, limited edition, limited to 4,500 pieces. Okay, so let's start to take a look at what we have here. So outer box. Here's a nice thank you from Noman in Singapore. So for those of you who've watched my previous unboxing, you'll know that I also bought other pieces from Noman, most notably the Damasco Center Chrono. And this is a nice little kind of thank you note and a lug sizing guide going from 16 mil to 26 millimeters here. So that's nice. A little thank you. Noman saying that they've inspected the watch, which is nice. And let's take a look at the what's left here. So we have a couple of things. We have the movement guide here. So for the 6R35, we'll talk about that in a little bit. And we have the Japanese warranty. So this is the guarantee. It says it's only valid in Japan, obviously because this is a Japanese domestic model, so it's really supposed to be sold only in Japan. That's kind of the allure of this. So here we go. Here's the inner box of this Prospex diver. Okay. So let's get this protective coating off and see what we have here. Okay, so I'll say a quick word about the Black Series overall before we dive in to the specifics on this model. So the Black Series are meant to be modern interpretations of 60s and 70s mechanical dive watches. They reduce, I would say Seiko seems to release about 4 to 5 watches that are designed to evoke the underwater world at night. So you see this piece here. Really blacked out, black dial, black case. The case itself looks like a bit of a turtle case. We'll go ahead and open this rubber strap to take a look at the case back. And so you see this kind of a mini Seiko wave here. You'll see the case is numbered, right? Again, this is a limited edition, 1 of 45, so the case back is numbered. And here is the guy in all its splendor. So let's go ahead and we'll set the time here.
What's the time? It's time to get in.
Nice play here. I do like the aesthetics on this guy. Okay. Secondhand starts as intended. So, I mentioned I bought this watch from Noman in Singapore. My experience with them has always really been overwhelmingly positive. They ship via DHL, so the watches arrive here in the States. I'm in New York on the other side of the world, but the watches arrive usually in a few days, and shipping is included over a certain amount. And obviously, this watch is covered by that. They were kind enough to throw in this watch tool with my purchase. So it's a nice kind of branded merch here along with a nice limited edition Seiko. Just a word on price. So because it's a Japanese domestic model, right, list price on this guy is in yen. I think based on the tag in the box, it was 126,500 yen. Based on today's exchange rate, that's a little under $900, which is probably, I would say, a little above what I paid for that delivered to me here in New York. So we're talking about a watch that's, you know, somewhere between $800 and $1,000 on the market. Definitely not cheap by Seiko standards, but also not expensive. I think, you know, we should be able to get good bang for your buck in this price range with someone like Seiko. So let's take a look and see what we have. In terms of the watch's characteristics, it has 200 meters of water resistance, which we see on the dial. It has a unidirectional bezel, so yeah, can't turn to the right, turn it to the left. Nice, crisp movement. Let's see how it lines back up. And I know a lot of the lower end Seiko models have some issue with the lineup of the lume pip, but it looks like it's pretty nicely aligned to 12 o'clock. It has a anti-reflective coated sapphire crystal. So again, you know, with some of the lower end models, you might get a hard Lex, you might get some Seiko proprietary technology, but this is bona fide sapphire, which is good, certainly good value. The case here, and we'll kind of take a better look at the case. It's got a nice little kind of shine to it to contrast with the matte dial, but that case is stainless steel hard-coated black, okay? From a spec standpoint, 41 millimeters in diameter, 20 millimeters lug width, and 12.3 millimeters thick. So let's try this guy on, kind of see how it looks on the wrist. I could tell you this is an OEM rubber strap, and it really fits nicely here. So you got to kind of, it still has the stickers on, you got a kind of a branded strap there. Kind of here's what the watch looks like on the wrist. Kind of very snug, sits nicely. You know, that turtle case kind of distributes nicely, and I think overall looks very nice. So kind of a word on the movement. So it's Seiko's upgraded 6R35 movement. So when I say upgraded, it's upgraded over the 6R15, actually, which is in my Patty Diver, the one with the gradient dial. I'll show that in a picture separately. This guy is 24 joules, 21,600 beats per hour. So yeah, this guy has 70 hours of power reserve, which is a very respectable upgrade over its predecessor, the 6R15, which I mentioned earlier, which had only 50 hours. It's also a little thinner as well than the 6R15, which again allows you to have a pretty good fit on the wrist. So, you know, the 6R35 is really one of Seiko's, I would say it's probably Seiko's premium workhorse in the mid-range. Can be found in a lot of those Seikos, like the 62 MAS, the 62 MAS, and the Sumo, right? And I guess finally we could say it is hacking and hand winding as well. So that's exactly what you expect of a kind of a mid-range Seiko movement. Again, I don't know if we can see the dial here, and maybe it's time to take off the watch to take a look at the dial. But it's really, I mean, aesthetically, it's a very nice dial. It's stippled, matte black, with Lumabrite across all indices and hands. So you see that sweeping seconds hand that has a red dot, I guess, for, let's say, daytime visibility, as well as the lume on the seconds hand. Now, to comply with ISO standards, the circular date wheel is tucked in at 430, which enables each index to have lume for better legibility in low light environments. So again, I think we could see that, and I could share. I will share a picture of the lume in a dark environment. And so, you know, the case, which is very kind of slim and fits well on the wrist, the rubber strap that's very, very comfortable, the legibility of the dial in low light environments. I mean, all these things speak to a watch that has a lot, really kind of versatile functionality. So I'm really looking forward to trying this watch out. maybe even taking it on vacation with me next month. And obviously, I'll check back in with let's say a week or a month or so on the wrist. So guys, thanks for listening, and bye-bye.